You mentioned the absence of
Hmm.
God, and in those moments of lament, those moments of grief, um, and I wonder if we can kind of talk about
Hmm.
that because I find that in those moments where you're maybe having a crisis of faith alongside this
Hmm.
trauma, and you're crying out to God, and you're looking at the Psalms as an example of like, here's David or whoever the writer is
Right.
crying out to God, like, God, where are you? And you find comfort in that, like, yes, where are you,
Hmm.
God? Um, and you're continuing with this ritual of going to church on
Hmm.
Sunday,
Hmm.
but now like it's not feeling the
Hmm.
same. Like you're like almost getting upset at the praise songs
Yeah.
because you don't feel like
Yeah.
praising God.
Yeah. You know, um, I'm probably going to get in trouble somewhere for saying this, but I think there's been a lot of emphasis in the last, well, I don't know, 30, 40 years of American evangelicalism on, you heard it said, it's not a religion, it's a relationship. It's not a religion, it's a
Right.
relationship. And that I understand the heart behind that, and I'm not trying to kind of knock on that we
Hmm.
do have this intimacy with God that is not about kind of rote legalistic obedience, but at the same time, I think we have downplayed the importance of religious practice. And by what I mean by that is kind of these habitual liturgies of life with God, of being part of a communal institution that believes in something bigger than the one individual self. And so much seemed to growing up, just because of the kind of subculture I was a part of, so much seemed to depend on my own one on one relationship with God. I mean, I've heard worship directors say, at a church service, be like, draw a circle around yourself. It's just you and God in this moment. And it's like, okay, like, I
Hmm.
get that they're trying to convey an
Hmm.
experience of intimacy. But at the
Right.
same
Right.
time, like, what saves you when that kind of one on one connection feels cut off is the religion, is the institution of the church, the community of the church saying there's 100 other people in this room that believe right now. Even if you don't believe, stay with
Mm.
them. In the same way that it's the institution of marriage that kind of saves my relationship with my husband when we're not really kind of clicking. If it only
Hmm.
depended on our kind of mutual feelings of affection at any given moment, we might not be together anymore. And so I think finding that balance and just saying there, a religion comes with a list of creeds, it comes with a list of statements of belief, it comes with rituals, it comes with habits, it comes with accountability, it comes with community. Um, we are radical individuals. We are all deinstitutionalizing right now, and I would caution against that in some ways because there's a lot of beauty and kind of anchoring to be found when you kind of take that pressure off the one-on-one relationship. If you're just not really emotionally experiencing God in that moment, it's okay. Your faith is not a failure. It's not the end of the story. You're still on a journey. And that was really important to me in my experience of grief.
What were some of the rituals of going to church that you found most
Mm-hmm.
helpful as you were maybe feeling
Mm-hmm.
faithless?
I think prayer and beginning the day in a posture of prayer. Like I remember um, in some of the early days of my grief saying, before I look at my phone, before I do anything, I'm gonna like
Hmm.
literally kneel and pray. I just kind of get out whatever comes out. Like it's not going to be
Yeah.
eloquent, it might not even be heartfelt, and it may be a repetition, but but that's what I'm going to do. I think that, and I think that, well, and it's interesting, Mike, like my the most significant portions of my grieving in the last 3 to 4 years have been during a pandemic. And so gathering together with non-believers or with other believers was really challenging. But just continuing to say like, hey, if I'm gonna show up to church, or I'm gonna
Mm.
hit start on the live stream, I don't have to sing, I don't have to raise my hands in an emotional connection with God, but I'm going to listen and watch as other people pray and sing and allow that to wash over me. Kind of, we're holistic beings. Like our bodies need to show up for the life of faith, and our bodies need to show up for grief even when our hearts feel stagnant or our hearts feel detached. And so kind of bringing my body to those places was really important. And then just, I don't know, keeping good people around you that were more nuanced and didn't try to theologically explain away your your grief or your suffering, but that could also remind you of some things that were true. I think that was really important.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video clip from the Delgado podcast. To get more videos just like this, simply subscribe here on YouTube. Take care.